Hi, my name is Emaya Johnson, and I am a high school intern who goes to John O'Connell High School and is in the program called IELs. Today, I am very passionate to be talking about the issue with teen pregnancy, abortions, and why are some people so against these teens having abortions, and why are some people not so against it. Today, I will be interviewing my cousin Malaysia, and they don't really have much of a background, but they'll be introducing themselves.
Hi, my name is Malaysia Northcutt, and I go to Shelton High School in Sacramento, California. And I'm excited to do this interview about these big issues.
The reason why I have chose my cousin Malaysia to interview this is because we both haven't had the actual experience of having abortions, but we do want to know the reasons of why are people so against it, and why are people are not against, teens having an abortion. So we both want to learn from each other about this big issue that's been going on for almost decades. So before we do start in with the main focus of this project, I do want to ask Malaysia, what is your opinion on teen pregnancy abortions, and do you think it should, be their main decision to make on their own, or having a adult, which is, their guardian, to make the decision for them?
I believe that teen girls should be able to have abortions even though their parents don't allow them to, just because some teen girls aren't able to take care of their children, and some of them want to have a proper education before bringing a child into this world.
Well, great. Now let's get on to my main focus of this project. My main focus is, on teen pregnancy abortions and really trying to figure out, why are some people not so against it. And I'm really aiming to address the social support and, getting these teens their reproductive freedom with their concerns about potential risk and having to deal with a development of maturity for them. But although teens should be allowed to make their decisions, even without a parental consent and being told to go to court just for them to make their decision on if that teen should have the baby or not. Now, a question that I mainly want to ask you, Malaysia, is that what are the potential consequences for a teen mother if she actually does make the decision to raise a baby?
Some consequences that teen mothers may face is having no support system because they are a teen mother, and they might get judged, and their families might feel like some type of way about them having the babies.
Good answer. Um, Now let's talk about this issue. Now the issue is that many teens have gotten have faced a lot of challenges basically with having less money, less independence, um, and the impact on their life and focusing on their future. I want this issue to be mostly solved for these teens by supporting them in removing barriers to abortion care. Basically, barriers being where parents are not letting their own child choose what they want to do, or having to be in a state that made a law basically saying like you can't make this decision. You're too young. You're not mature enough to make this type of decision. Many teens in our community haven't really known the district impacts on their health, well being, and their future opportunities for them. And allowing them to make an informed choice to their reproductive health so they can learn from their mistakes they have done. Another question that I do want to ask Malaysia is that um, who can a teen talk to about their decision and concerns about having an abortion?
Teen moms can probably go talk to people at Planned Parenthood. if they have any questions or concerns about like their child on the way, or what should they do about family issues because of their child.
Mm, mm, okay. Now, there has been a lot of issues that's been happening with teens not being able to decide on their own whatever or not to keep the pregnancy. Like being told it's against their religion or against their culture of getting an abortion, and in other words, having people being very judgmental to them. This is a really important and a big deal to me and others because living in such a big community and society, you will want to support and care about these teens' health risk and being able to let them choose their pathways and give them their reproductive rights. So, how does having a baby as a teenager affect their economy future?
Having a baby at such a young age could affect you in the future with money, is that maybe you can't go to some of your classes, high school or college classes in the future, which affect your grades, which can lead you to not graduate on time and can lead you to not be able to have the opportunities that you need to succeed in life.
Mostly the people who are affected by this are obviously the teens who are in households where if they end up getting pregnant and being forced into marriages and having to drop out of school and not having enough money to even support their self and the baby. So for a follow-up question for this is how can teenager pregnancies impact a young person's educational um mind?
Like I said earlier, teen pregnancy can affect a teenager's educational life by making them like they had to take care of their babies, they had to go to appointments, which means they can't always go to class, which means they're not going to be able to graduate because they're not able to go to class on time. They can't go to those important classes for them to pass.
That we are at the end of this podcast, I would like to appreciate Malaysia for taking the time out of her day to help me out with this podcast by answering my questions and putting her opinion about people who are against and not against teen pregnancy abortions. And the last thing I would like to say is that I'm hoping that the people who hear my podcast is, being able to show your support on about teens being able to make their own type of decisions in their life and make sure they get the emotional and support that they need when dealing with this situation.